Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's going on, everyone? Welcome out to the Cleveland Pulse YouTube channel. Today, we are bringing you guys a little bit of a live going over the NFL draft. Obviously, your Cleveland Browns are not drafting as of right now in the first round, but we figured that we'd pop on here. We go for the ride that is the NFL draft and just commentate a little bit on the first round. Want to see who the AFC North picks in terms of you know who they're going to go and get, and then just comment on other players and teams making picks elsewhere. So that being said, Jeff, how you doing?
What's up, dude? We got London coming in for Atlanta. First skill
Yeah,
position offensive player off the board.
yeah. So first eight picks are in. Uh, we'll go down the line really quickly, and Jeff, stop me if you want to talk about any of these guys. But the Jags going D line first with the D tackle DN Trayvon Walker out of UGA. Then the Detroit native stays in Detroit. Aiden Hutchinson going from Michigan to Detroit Lions. Very interested in that. Derek Stingley Jr. from LSU goes to the Texans. That could be, however you look at it, an interesting pick. Then you have Ahmad Gardner from Cincinnati going to the Jets at 4. Kayvon Thibodeau going to the Giants at 5. I don't know how to say this man's name. I can't even say his last name. Offensive tackle from NC State going to the Carolina Panthers at 6. A potential quarterback pick there that I think a lot of people had their eyes on, baby. Then the Giants pick again, going Evan Neal, offensive tackle from Alabama, and then Drake London, as Jeff said, going 8 to Atlanta. I'm just gonna put it out there. I really like what the Giants are doing as of right now.
Interesting first 10. I like the first 10 really because you see a lot of development here. Trayvon Walker is the betting favorite to go number 1 overall like yesterday and today. He's like the betting favorite to be the first overall pick for like less than 48 hours. So I think that kind of shows you how diverse this draft is. That's like really the only way I could put it. Like, what was that? 8 for Drake London. That's your first offensive skill player. I would have to go and look at other drafts, but that's like kind of crazy. And which is fine, starting off early, validating my agenda because I was pounding on Drake London to be the first wide receiver off the board for a while. Don't know if it's the right pick. That's the issue with talking about, the wide receivers, I think. But
Atlanta
it's nice.
An interesting pick.
I guess you get help with Mariota, but it's like I thought Atlanta was going to be a quarterback pick too. Like if you want to put Willis behind anybody for a year, don't you think it's Mitch Trubisky?
I mean, well, yeah, but that's not for a long while. My thing with 8 is just like Atlanta's been poverty since they lost in the Super Bowl.
Horrible.
And I don't think that they've made a great pick in the first round since that ever happened. And I don't know that Drake London, I'm not saying that Drake London is a bad pick, but obviously they go, Calvin Ridley's out. They go and they draft a skill position last year in Kyle Pitts, and they're still in the lottery. And it's not to say that those picks are hurting them, but I just don't know that that's why I like what New York's done, where they've gone with the 2 possible like most important positions that you can go and get outside of quarterback, which is your premier edge rusher and your hopeful premier left tackle. So interesting picks there.
Those are cornerstones, though. We talk about that, though. I mean, the edge and the cornerback premium in the top 8 is great because that's the league. Like, don't outsmart people. You need to stop the pass. Like, I love quality running backs too, but they're just not as intimidating. Like, okay, run for 100 yards against us. But if you get lit up for, 200 yards and 2 touchdowns from Jamar Chase, you're going to be mad.
Right. I'm seeing here that the Seahawks are taking offensive tackle Charles Cross at 9 on Twitter as of right now. Don't know if that's confirmed. I'm not watching the draft because I'm on my computer and I don't have like a link or anything. So I'm just on Bleacher Report and on Twitter trying to keep up. But the Seahawks, another team that you could have thought as a quarterback potential draftee. Huge because
Yeah,
as
you're going
Jeff
to
and
be
I
right
were
about these
texting,
quarterbacks. You're going to be
yeah,
very right about these quarterbacks.
yeah.
I
Talking to
thought
Jeff,
2 would be gone for sure.
yeah. We'll get into that more, but the thing Jeff and I were talking about before we even hopped on was Carolina made their pick, and we talked about them potentially being a landing spot for Baker Mayfield. Obviously, in the earlier weeks, months, and earlier weeks in the last month since the Deshaun Watson trade, Seattle has been in the mix as well as Carolina. So very interesting to have those two go offensive tackle because they could potentially set up for training for a quarterback later. I see what Justin's saying. Atlanta not drafting players that have high impact on winning. Yeah, it's just
They have so many needs though. Like who's the same way? Like the Texans, like it's nice having a top pick. Like it really is. It's actually nice not having a first round pick this year. I'm actually thrilled about it, even though it's less fun to watch the draft. But it's like the drawback is that you just need you need a couple of them. Like the Giants and the Jets are a little bit set up. Like Houston, what were they, 3 or 4? Like okay, you get a corner, but it's like the rest of your defense still sucks.
Yeah, it's tough because you look at the Bengals, and the Bengals are like an outlier last year where they pick Jamar Chase and he goes off and Joe Burrow goes off and whatnot. But you also have to couple that with how well they've done in free agency. Atlanta has not done anything in free agency. They miss out on Deshaun Watson. You look at the Texans. All right, they traded Deshaun Watson and they didn't end up taking Baker Mayfield in that deal. They don't have – I mean, if they're rocking with Davis Mills, that's fine. It probably would be beneficial if they took an offensive tackle with the news that Laramie Tunsil is on the way out, supposedly. But I would say the same thing for the Jets. As much as you want to get a top tier cornerback, the Jets have their quarterback that they drafted last year. They need to pair him with, an offensive tackle either on the left or right side and make sure that he's not running for his life, because that's the worst thing I hate about drafting rookie quarterbacks and then playing them in a year is like if you don't have that secured line like Joe Burrow did in his first year and he's running for his life,
tackles are so important, dude.
Yep. They're so important. And
that's what I think has been overlooked about our offseason, not to kind of get off topic really quickly, but what are we doing at right tackle? Like Hudson into Conklin like halfway through the year. Little bit of talking point there. We're definitely gonna have to talk about that leading up to the season for sure. Just looking ahead a couple picks though. Shout out to everyone in chat. MZC, Derek, Ashton, the usuals, the loyals. We appreciate you guys. If a quarterback doesn't go at 11, that's saying something, right? If Washington doesn't take a quarterback, I guess this pick isn't in yet, but
right. Well, I'm not seeing anything as of right now. Dan Orlowski on Twitter, if the Jets don't take Wilson, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah, the Jets. That should be an easy pick, right?
Yeah. Well, you watch Drake London come off the board, and that's what you always talk about with wide receivers in these drafts. It's like when the first one goes, the dominoes start to fall. So you could very well see, and who knows, like New York, Washington. I'm just looking at Baltimore could be up for a wide receiver maybe. But definitely very interesting. Still no word on this Seahawks pick, even though I saw offensive tackle. I'm looking.
Yeah, I don't see an official pick for them.
Ian Rappaport, the Seahawks make the pick rather than trade and select Mississippi State.
So apparently there was a little bit of trade talk there.
I think there was an idea of them going backwards. So
yeah, a lot of teams going backwards. I think that this just shows that it's a little corny and it's a little phony to listen into like, well, who's going to do this and who's going to do that on draft night? Like you literally just have to wait. Right. Boring advice, but it's like besides who you asked, like there was going to be no trade partners for Baker after the first 15 picks, and there's already 2. Like still available. So Andrew Berry's going to hold his hands. Andrew Berry is smarter than a lot of these GMs, dude. He just is. Like it's it's not even a referendum on these general managers. It's just like it worked out being a good year for the draft to have bad quarterbacks for us, considering how the offseason shaped up.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not like huge on like trying to bash any of these quarterbacks. Like, I might not be like a huge fan of them. And who knows? Like, the thing that's like out there is like there are 3 quarterbacks that are available for trade that are better than these quarterbacks in the draft that people keep going. It's Baker Mayfield, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Jordan Love. Jordan Love is like the least talked about quarterback I've heard in trade talks, and I don't know why, considering Aaron Rodgers and the deal that he's made with Green Bay. Like, if I'm any of these teams, if I'm the Lions, I guess Carolina, Seattle, like all these teams that need a quarterback, like why wouldn't you just like maybe the asking price for him is too high, but who knows? Like you're not paying him a lot of money because he's still on the rookie deal. So, but I digress. I mean, it's interesting to see how the dominoes fall for quarterbacks in this draft. You said 11. If I had to like go out and be like, when I think of a quarterback would be taken, I say the earliest in my mind is one of the Saints picks, which is 16 and 19. And the only thing that is there for, talking about is potentially Pittsburgh, maybe moving ahead of New Orleans. If they want their first pick at any of the quarterbacks, they could trade with the Eagles, who have 2 picks in the top 20. So I don't know. Like the quarterbacks, Jeff, you've been on Kenny Pickett. I think you've also been on Malik Willis a little bit. I just don't know where where it separates. Like where
I don't know if the GMs know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, who's going to actually be the first one of the 2 coming off? You can keep the kid in Pittsburgh and draft Kenny Pickett, but are you really getting anything outside of what you have with Rudolph or with Mitch Trubisky? It's interesting.
So, I don't know. Yeah, it's for sure interesting. There's not a lot of separation, but back to the 2 teams who have taken offensive linemen.
Yeah.
The Panthers, but they'd opt to go offensive lineman to not take quarterback, and the Seahawks do the same thing. So that makes me think that they want to, like you said,
get Jimmy G. There it is.
What's up,
Garrett Wilson?
I mean, that was easy. That was the easiest pick of the draft so far. Sad he's got to go to the Jets, but yeah. I'm gonna be more of an Olave fan this year on multiple facets because he's gonna go to a better team, you'd think, and he's probably gonna be better for fantasy. If he's on the other side of Keenan Allen, he's gonna be a nice fantasy pick, in my opinion.
Garrett Wilson
and Sauce Gardner, but like that's a good first round for you.
Yeah. I can't be upset with him getting drafted, top 10.
But I actually really like what New York has done because didn't they get the Giants switching to the Giants because they got Thibodeau and didn't they take what's his face last year? The guy I liked.
You're not talking about the other kid from Georgia.
Yeah, the other D end.
No, wasn't that he got hurt and he went to Buffalo. Remember you sent me the picture of him next to the other dude from Buffalo? Not too many days ago.
Yeah, I know, but I still think the Giants drafted him. What was his name?
Azeez Ojulari.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're right. Sorry, I just confused myself because of the blue and the red. I'm sorry. You're absolutely right.
I mean, like thinking about
and he's next to Andrew Thomas. They drafted Andrew Thomas 2 drafts ago when we drafted Jedrick Wills. They drafted Azeez, and now they got another offensive tackle and another DN.
Yeah, so
their defense was good last year.
Their defense has been good for a couple of seasons.
Right.
But like we're seeing that here. Like I just try to base what other people do off of like our deficiencies. So it's like we haven't found a long-term pairing with Miles. And like I think
Right.
you could almost say that about TJ Watt too. Like
Melvin Ingram,
they had like Devin Bush. Who did they get?
Bud Dupree.
Bud Dupree. They got rid of Bud Dupree. Like they had him for like 1 or 2 years, or maybe even longer. But it's like the Giants. If you could have good production from Thibodeau and Ojulari for 4 years now, that's pretty good setup if they pan out.
And wasn't Ojulari hurt? Didn't Ojulari not play last year?
Yeah, he might have been a red shirt. Honestly, I think.
Who spent home time sometime. I don't know if he did not play, but I do remember him being
play
hurt
a lot,
and he fell. That's why
this is the quarterback spot for me right here at 11.
Yeah, Washington kind of falling into the same trap that Carolina was falling into, where they just kind of kept taking flyers on free agent quarterbacks or trading for quarterbacks.
They got to stop that, right?
They went and got Fitzpatrick last year. Now they went and got Carson Wentz. Who did they roll with 2 years ago? They rolled with Dwayne Haskins, rest in peace. So
I guess they do have Carson Wentz. Oh wait.
And Ashton saying traded back. Saints are on the clock.
Oh, Corral? Or do they want Pickett? Or do they want Willis? Saints on the clock. We're a little bit behind here. I'm not on like an up-to-date like live stream.
I'm on a YouTube page that's still showing the Washington.
I feel like Twitter's kind of lacking too. Like I'm trying to find the picks as they come in on Twitter, and I'm just like NFL at NFL, but they're slow. Like they just tweeted about Charles Cross. No, they tweeted about Garrett Wilson. Yeah, I feel bad for Garrett Wilson.
Yeah,
but I think if you're the Jets, you're thrilled. Care about Drake London? I think New York, or I think Garrett Wilson probably fits your scheme better.
I think the two wide receivers that got taken first are going to very bad positions. I mean, they could probably ball out.
Yeah,
but
I think if you're in Atlanta, like that's what I get with you're saying about London, though. It's like Drake London is not helping Mariota's season be anything crazy. Like, okay, he has him in Pitts.
I do see the Rappaport tweet now. The Saints are on the clock. So very interested to see what they do here. Are they actually going to be the first team to take a quarterback here? And if so, who? Kenny Pickett? Do they think Kenny Pickett is their next Drew Brees?
Yeah, this is a walking trap, though. You are correct. You're going to have a rookie head coach, Dennis Allen. He's been there for a while, but you know it's different being a position. It's different being a coordinator than moving up to the full-time head coach. Me and you know that, yeah. Browns fans. And you're going to have a rookie quarterback, and you're going to be in cap hell still.
Maybe those. Well, they still signed Jameis for 2 years. Is the thing. So they'll probably let Jameis.
And they have Taysom Hill under contract.
Yeah, I'm still thinking they let Jameis.
That's a horrible situation, though. Like, who's Dennis Allen? If you trade up and you grab like Willis, like who's taking second team reps? Is Taysom Hill taking second team reps? Like that just sounds like
no. Wasn't there a report that
Allen said that he's tight end only or something, right?
Yeah.
So I guess they want a quarterback, like guaranteed.
I guess. Could the Saints be taking a wide receiver?
Who
is that a potential move that they might be thinking of? Michael Thomas didn't play at all last year. They just watched Garrett Wilson come off the board.
Commanders trade their pick to the Saints. Would love to see that package. 4 seconds ago, Saints are eyeing Chris Olave. You're turning it. You tuned in sharp tonight, boy.
Listen, when you go all the way back to my history of going to a Mr. McKinley class in my freshman year and drawing a picture of Teddy Bridgewater in a Browns uniform, you kind of get in tune with these things and you kind of get a sense for how these things will end up going. But I saw the trade package for the pick. It was, oh God, and now I've lost it because I tried to refresh to see if I could find the new pick that was going up here. Let me see if I can re-find that. I don't know if that was a Rappaport tweet or.
Well, I do have an update. I do have the stream link in the description, and we do have somebody in the waiting room.
Okay.
So we're gonna go to Isaiah. I don't know what he wants to talk about, but we could talk about whatever, really. Let me get this off of here.
Sure thing.
Isaiah, what's going on?
What up, Isaiah?
What's up, dude? Hello?
Uh-oh.
I'm back.
What's
What's
up?
going on?
What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, because we're driving. My mom is driving. Yeah.
Okay.
What are you talking to, Isaiah? Nothing. No.
Isaiah's gone. Isaiah just lagged out.
Uh-oh.
He was driving though.
So apparently the Commanders traded pick 11 for the Saints 16, 98, and 120. So they get one extra pick in the top 100 and an extra pick in the first – is that the first three? No, the first 4 rounds. So interesting. And then I'm seeing a rumor here. Jets rejected a trade for 49ers involving Deebo Samuel for the 10th pick before taking Garrett
Rejected.
Wilson.
They rejected Deebo.
Interesting.
Wow.
Probably didn't want to have to pay him the money that he's looking for.
I mean, I agree. Or
Saints trade up for number 11, Chris Olave.
Wow. And the Washington makes out like gold in that trade to me.
Because now they move back
16th,
and they're still in
third,
front
and
of,
a fourth.
They're still in front of the Steelers.
You like Olave that much? Like I like Olave too, but like who? Why though?
Be kind of sick if Garrett wore 10 and Olave wore 11.
Was that back-to-back Ohio State receivers?
Back-to-back Ohio State wide receivers.
I'm
Good
not
for the
getting that
boys.
trade from New Orleans, but we've seen that their cap management is a little bit fraudulent. So
I'm telling you, dude, the wide receiver dominoes in the NFL draft is like the craziest thing, maybe outside of quarterbacks. And that's, we'll see that eventually, maybe. Even then,
I still
don't
think
know.
7 wide receivers is going to be a stretch for this first round because what are we at? 12? And there's only been 2? No, there's been 3. No, there's been 3. Never mind. No, we're right on pace, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, if you get Michael Thomas healthy, Jameis Winston might look like a stud down there, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see. I wonder. So Minnesota Vikings, what are they likely to do?
They don't need a wide receiver though. They're
They're probably going to go defense. I would imagine they go defense here. I'm probably going to line them up with a defensive lineman here.
I'll be curious to see if there's an IDL come off like in the first round. Honestly, like apparently I know why it's been mocked high on some people's boards, but
just looking at some comments here. Garrett will eventually be better and you save money. See, my thing with the Garrett Wilson and Deebo Samuel thing is, again, it's like the situation. Yes, is Garrett Wilson a great wide receiver? Sure. But if you continue to look at what the Jets did this offseason, which is, correct me if I'm wrong, not a lot to help them offensively on the line, that kid, Zach Wilson's just going to be on the run again, and he still hasn't proven to me that he's a good quarterback. I still hardly believe that Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback.
The Lions have traded to 12.
Wow. They're also going to go for a wide receiver here. I have to believe that they're going to go.
Jameson Williams.
I have to believe that they will either take.
Jameson Williams is still on the board.
Knowing the Lions, though, I'm going to say that they get Treylon Burks.
Ooh.
I'd be willing to bet that they overdraft.
Dude, I'm not like I don't mean to gas Andrew Berry up, even though I do a lot, but like this is the worst. Is this one of like the craziest like first round? Like this is maybe the best first round to not have a pick.
Wow.
What's
Detroit's
happening?
number 32 and 34 and 66 to the Vikings for number 12 and 46.
That seems a little bit more fair. I think Washington fleeced New Orleans.
Ooh, wow.
Jameson Williams too. Wow.
Is it Jameson Williams?
That's what JPA Football just tweeted out. Apparently, 3 straight wide receivers. There might be 8 wide receivers taken in the first round and no quarterbacks.
Wow. And they know that Jameson Williams isn't going to be ready for minicamp.
But this is my issue with this. Your quarterback is Jared Goff. Your quarterback is Jameis Winston. Your quarterback is Marcus Mariota. Who cares? Like I don't like sure trade up like Minnesota. That's easy for Minnesota to accept.
Yeah.
That's easy for Washington to accept. Those are easy decision making. Just moves from the front office. It has to be.
Well, the Vikings. I mean, that's a significant.
That's huge return, and they don't need like who do they really need? They need maybe like a defender or like I don't know. I don't really know their team composition, but like you have your quarter. You're not going to pick a quarterback. You have a running back. You have a 1A and a 1B wide receiver. I think you have a tight end, and I don't know a whole lot about their defense, but it's like you just need to play better like when you get onto the field.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
This is a good point Ashton's making.
Once London and Garrett came off the board, teams started panicking. Yeah, I mean that's the name of the game with wide receivers in the NFL draft. Like we talked about it, and it's Browns fans were hoping that Drake London survives to 44, correct? Yeah, 44. At this rate, Jahan Dotson's not going to even be there at 44. So certainly going to continue to go this way. Who's up next? I have to look this up. Open up my Bleacher Report. Houston is up next with their second pick.
That trade was definitely more fair, though. I don't know, like, because like if you're the Vikings, now you have 32 and 34, so you still have a first rounder, and you have day 2 second pick, and you have 66, but you did give up 12. But it's like you just must not like anyone. Like my issue with that trade is like you just must not like Kyle Hamilton at 12. If you're Minnesota.
Yeah, well, and they still have the
Chiefs will probably end up with Burks.
Anthony Harris. Is Anthony Harris still on the Vikings?
See, now I can't draft any Ohio State wide receivers in fantasy. Salty.
I'm trying to look here. So the Vikings were second in their division last year, behind the Packers, of course. They must think the Packers are, after losing Devontae Adams. I mean, if they just play better, I guess, like you said, they might have a chance, but who knows? Maybe they take a quarterback and at one of those 32, 34 picks.
And you got to think that that's a direct – we still have some lingering Browns effects in the first round because that's Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah trading back.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Is he their GM? I think he is.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Great on you for pronouncing that. That's incredible.
But so all right, what are we at? 13, 14?
We are at 13.
My hot take right now is that hope to God a competent D tackle is there.
Well, as of right now, we still watching Jordan
44.
Davis fall. We're watching, D tackles are not typically the talk of the town.
No. D tackles and linebackers and running backs are basically extremely taboo for the first round.
Yeah. Yep. Well, Christian Barmore, the D tackle from Alabama last year, didn't even get drafted in the first round, and
he was like the number one.
Yeah. No, I don't even think he was number one on day 2. Remember, I think
like number one, like DT prospect.
Oh yeah.
But like this year, it's like you have Wyatt, you have Davis. I think Fedarian Mathis is going to be second round.
Yeah.
Kyle Hamilton falling off a cliff. I mean, dude, it's safe. Like,
safeties are weird. Like, if you're not uber,
you just draft a linebacker. But even then, like, you don't even want to draft a linebacker, especially when like Thibodeau, you could probably play as a hybrid. Like these Micah Parsons build is the real. That's what you're really looking for. There's not many of them floating around. But it's like nobody wants Nakobe Dean. Isn't he like how old is he? Or maybe I'm thinking of somebody else, but I think that some of the linebackers in this class are old too.
Yeah, well, I haven't heard anything good about any linebackers from this class, to be honest.
Nope.
Not a lot, at least. This Detroit pick still hasn't gone through in my.
And Field Yates is already tweeting that the Eagles have traded up to 13.
Yep, I see that.
Wide receiver, gotta be.
Dude, if they go wide receiver,
gotta be. Who else do they need? Hamilton.
Dude, I feel like they've drafted a wide receiver in the first round each year.
Yeah, they had Rager. They were looking to move Rager, and they drafted
Devontae.
Yeah, Heisman winner last year.
Yeah, but then who's
the other guy from Bama?
Michi.
Mechie, yeah.
Mechie.
Mechie, you got who's left? Pickens,
Traylon Burks,
Mechie, Burks,
Jahan Dotson.
Dotson, David Bell, Sky Moore. No way they're trapped. No way they're moving up this big for
Dude, the Eagles, knowing the Eagles, it could very
Horrible.
much be.
horrible.
But
Gotta
like,
respect the Eagles though. They got their Super Bowl and have been irrelevant ever since.
my God, it's crazy to even think about that.
Just saying, like they beat Brady. Who did the Lions pick?
Jameson Williams.
Oh, I'm late.
No, you were on top of that. You knew that before me.
I forgot. My brain forgot.
That happens on draft night. It's weird, but
Another wide receiver. Turner, I think you've got to be right. They don't want a quarterback. I mean, that would be like a Philly thing to do. Be like, okay, we're already giving up on Hurts, but
like, why would they do that? It's,
where were they supposed to pick before? Is my question.
they had 2 picks in the top 20. They had 19 and something else. I was trying to make that point about them. So they had 16 and they had 19, I believe. Wait, no, they have 15 and they have 18. So unless they're giving up
3 trades in a row.
Yeah.
The Jamar Chase effect. Do I need to write an article?
I'm looking. I'm not seeing anything. The Browns would have been screwed at 13 for a wide receiver. They're not wrong.
The Browns would have been hosting a bevy of trades, and we would have been declining all of them.
Right.
Because we could have got Will. Well, see, that would have been our issue if it would have fell that way. We would have had hurt Jameson Williams at 13.
3 straight Ohio State receivers, counting Jameson Williams.
I saw that. I did see that. I mean, yeah. And I don't even think the best prospect is still at Ohio State.
13 for 15, 124, 162, 166.
That's what I can't wrap my head around as far as a GM. Be like, hey, we're gonna trade up 2 picks.
Yeah.
Like I get that's the difference. Trust me. Like I'm not like saying that is like that's like a negative comment, but it's like imagine be like, okay, we need to move up 2 picks here. And
the last time they traded up to go draft a wide receiver, they took Reagor over Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. But again, it's like you're 15. You could win that division. I know the Cowboys are the clear-cut favorites over there, but it's like
not taking a wide receiver. I'm seeing Jordan Davis.
No way.
I'm seeing Jordan Davis
trade up for a D tackle. Wow.
Who are they thinking? Baltimore. I would have been upset if Baltimore took Jordan Davis.
That's good for us. That's better than they got him than Baltimore. Who are their edge rushers?
Fletcher Cox.
Fletcher Cox is a DT.
He's a flex DN because they play a 3-4.
I guess that's a good pairing. I guess that makes sense.
Well, it's also Fletcher Cox's oldest son, so he's on his way out.
Yeah.
Wow. In front of the Ravens, still a lot of options for Baltimore.
There ain't going to be a quarterback pick tonight, is there?
No, there will be, but I'm still
Steelers?
very
2 years in a row, they were the only running back last year. They're going to be the only quarterback this year. Not buying it. 1 pick for Trent. Ashton, it's 2022. Deshaun Watson's the quarterback. We have Nick Chubb. We have Myles Garrett. We just extended Denzel Ward. Jadeveon Clowney's coming back. You heard it here first. The sources are, trust me, and you're bringing up Trent Richardson in the chat. Gotta respect it.
Pretty funny, though. Remember that.
Gotta respect it.
I'm looking at the board that's left for the Ravens. So we still have Kyle Hamilton. Do they need a safety?
No.
No, their backfield's pretty good. They just got Oweh. Did they re-sign Calais?
Don't they have Patrick Queen too? Their defense is stacked.
Patrick Queen's a linebacker.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's like you have a confident linebacker.
George Karlaftis, maybe.
That's like imagine if I'm thrilled with a DT at 44 because you have Myles. Just say Clowney comes back. You have JOK, you have Jacob Phillips, you have Delpit, you have JJ3, you have competent cornerbacks. You're just missing the D tackle position and a little bit of depth on the edge.
Yeah. The clock is set for Baltimore to make the pick here. your buddy Tyler Lindenbaum still.
Raptors were a fade tonight. That's a bad premium pick. Eagles already went with Davis. You're behind.
Come on, Robert.
Come on, Rob.
You're fine. I'm looking. What? So in terms of offensive line, they could go an offensive lineman here, but they need a tackle because they traded Orlando to the Chiefs.
And Villanueva retired.
And
Sucked.
But I think all the heavy offensive tackles or all the top tier offensive tackles are gone. So they might be trying to move out of 14, maybe, potentially. Or they have to take a flyer on a wide receiver, or they take a flyer on Kyle Hamilton, or they make another DN pick and take Karlaftis. Checking the Twitter.
Ooh, Karlaftis. That's an interesting little shout. That would be a big brain Baltimore play.
That's a typical
little early though for him though. I heard he's fallen out of the first round. Sources.
Ooh, interesting. I did not hear that.
I heard he's fringe top 1. I'm curious, which, if you want to stay on for another 2.5 hours, or 3.5 hours, I'm totally game. I'm curious about the Chiefs back-to-back picks.
I'm interested to definitely see, our 2 AFC North opponents, and then obviously the Bengals at 31. But I would like to just know if we end up trading back in, but I don't think that'll happen.
I don't think we're trading back in. I don't think there's enough incentive to, unless a wide receiver is slipping through the cracks, like Burks. If Burks is there at like 25, maybe.
But what team is going to be willing to trade with us? So Buffalo Bills, no. Tennessee Titans, no. Maybe Tampa.
Lions having a great draft though. You got to admit it. I'll root for the Lions as a proxy fan. I like Campbell.
The only reason I would not root for them, but be okay or happy for them, is just because the guys that sit next to us for season tickets are Lions fans.
And they're Brown season ticket holders?
Yeah, the dude works for the Lions. I shouldn't say he's a fan of the Lions. He's a fan of the Browns, but he works for the Lions in ticket sales.
Okay.
So we sat next to him and his buddy this past year and talked. And he wanted Hutchinson. He wanted the hometown kid. So
that's a cool little story. That's a nice little story that Walker kind of slips into the first overall.
Right. I'm not seeing anything.
No, they're taking a huge break here. They don't even have the Philly pick on cable yet, but that stream is probably 2 minutes behind.
Well, it's not on my Bleacher Report either, so
maybe not 2 minutes. But
the stream that I'm watching does have the Ravens pick up, but not who they've picked.
What about Houston going for? See, but Houston, I feel like Houston is bad optics if they take a quarterback at 15.
The thing about, because Houston's on a new head coach, correct? Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
Lovie Smith. Good luck.
That's my biggest thing with when you get a new head coach. It's all right, at what point are you going up? Ravens pick is in, according to this stream I'm watching. Ravens taking Kyle Hamilton.
Geniuses.
That's
a little annoying.
I don't know. I'm pretty okay with that because is he gonna start? Chuck, what's his name? God, I'm blanking right now.
Did they have a safety last year get hurt and
Jimmy's a cornerback. I can't remember last names of players on opposite team right now. I'm looking up their depth chart. I might
Ravens Ross. I know they have a lot of corners.
Their whole team was hurt last year, so that's why I probably can't remember.
They have Humphreys a corner
and Marcus Williams.
Marcus Peters a corner. Yeah, he'll probably start. Chuck Clark's 100 years old, isn't he? A different Clark. No, he's 27.
My computer's going into overdrive.
Marcus Peters. I don't know, dude. That's weird. Marcus Peters is 29. I don't know about that. I mean, that's the
I don't
best.
like the
That's the
pick.
best player available.
I don't like that pick. I'm going to be
Mentality.
honest.
It's fine. Better than Davis, in my opinion.
Yes.
For the Browns.
A bajillion percent, yes.
Ashton is disliking it. If he plays if he plays linebacker, I might be nervous. Between Owe and Queen, and if he plays closer to the box, that would be a nightmare. I would agree. If he's a center field, I don't know. I didn't watch any film on him. I don't know if he plays center field or if he's like JJ3 more like. I don't know.
I mean, he's an All-American, but like at the same time, like all these dudes are none of these dudes that they're getting drafted in the top 20 are slouches, but like
for sure.
I just don't know that like Kyle Hamilton like jumps off the board like you look at a Jamal Adams like
I wonder if it's the same thing too. Like I wonder if scouts and GMs take into account like, okay, Kyle Hamilton was in this defense last year and JOK was a very good NFL player. Like is there just like they're picking up on their radar like, okay, this Notre Dame defense has been putting out pretty good NFL prospects, or is that kind of a non-factor?
I don't know. It's just
because if he plays like JOK, that's going to be a good pick for them.
I'm going to be honest. I'm like Jeff. I did not watch this kid.
No.
And I didn't hear anything. He's a big dude. I have to imagine he's going to play. Jeff might just be correct. He might play up into the linebacker position because this dude's freaking huge for safety. 6'4", 220.
I think that was kind of like the issue with him.
Unless they're going off of, but I'm looking at it, it's like, hold on. I gotta find what Walter Football said about this dude because I'm not seeing it right now.
I do think that
a ball hawk.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair. Let me see.
I like the Ravens. The Ravens don't move. They don't give up any assets, and they get the best safety. Like you gotta respect the consistency in the organization. We got a resident freaking scout, Ashton. Why do you tell us this earlier? Tell us this 4 weeks ago. Come on, get in here. Are you gonna be the draft scout for the Cleveland Pulse?
All right, Kyle Hamilton totaled 31 tackles, 3 interceptions, and 3 passes defended in 2021. A knee injury suffered while tackling USC's Drake London took Hamilton out for the rest of the season. While he has worked out before the draft, Hamilton posted some slow 40 times that hurt his draft stock, and teams say Hamilton's character was underwhelming in the interview process. His stock has slid somewhat from earlier in the 2022 NFL draft.
It's tough.
At Notre Dame, Hamilton was a dynamic playmaker and a difference maker. He has phenomenal size, speed, and athleticism to go along with dangerous ball skills. With his size and tackling ability, Hamilton is a highly impactful run defender who flies downhill and is capable of being the 8th man in the box. So quite literally what Jeff was saying with him being in the box and also what Ashton was saying with being a coverage guy. Interesting. The injuries somewhat interesting, but probably not a huge factor.
Yeah, we need somebody in the AFC North to not draft A+, because it's kind of just I don't know what Cincinnati's going to do. They might end up being a little fraudulent. I think Pittsburgh's in the toughest spot. Ravens, you're at a premium position if you're the Ravens. You're like the Warriors not very good last year or whatever year that was. It's like, okay, you got the core, you got the quarterback, you think you have the quarterback at least for this year, and you're just hurt last year. You know your defense was good, even injured. You know that you went through about 5 or 6 running backs last year. They're going to be healthy this year, and you have a big threat in J.K. Dobbins. Your wide receivers are like, but you have Mark Andrews, and Lamar doesn't pass the ball elite levels really anyway. So it's an easy pick for Hamilton. Best player available.
I'm pretty sure, but I don't know if they're going to have Chuck Clark play free safety or I don't know. I guess when I look at the depth chart for them, I'm thinking D-line is their weak spot just because Calais Campbell's old. Michael Pierce is Derek Wolfe is also injury prone.
Yeah.
But you get Jordan Davis taken out of you, and maybe you're not so sure on Karl Loftus. That's why this division is so freaking tough because AFC North teams don't miss now that the Browns are finally drafting well. Yeah, well, we'll see with the Steelers coming up here in a bit.
People thought Owe was, even if they do like miss, they are good talent developers. Like, even if you thought Owe was a miss last year, they had him a stud 8 games into the year.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh will draft probably somebody in the 3rd or 4th round at wide receiver. They'll let Deontay Johnson walk because he's going to be asking about 20 million. And whoever they drafted this year or next year or whatever in the 3rd or 4th round is going to be a stud.
The Texans, unfortunately, I think boggle their pick. They take guard Kenyon Green at 15.
I saw him going to I saw Dallas wanted him maybe. Seems a little early for him.
Interesting. Dude, what is up with this computer? I swear only when I'm recording.
The Ravens have traded wide receiver Marquise Brown to the Cardinals. What? For the Cardinals? Is it a package for the Cardinals? Do the Cardinals have a first?
They should not have another first. The Cardinals. The Cardinals.
I'm wondering if it's a package for Arizona's first.
Who in the heck is Lamar supposed to throw to now?
Mark Andrews. What if it's a Lamar Kyler Murray swap? That would be hilarious.
Oh, wow. What is going on? I don't know about that.
Kyle Hamilton looks like a child because he is.
They did get Rashad Bateman last year, but
Bateman and Andrews, I thought they were underwhelming against us.
I mean, I thought Marquise was good last year. I mean, he had 1,000 yards.
It's just one of those things where
Bateman. I mean, are they thinking Bateman is going to take a? I mean, I know people really liked Bateman last year, but I don't know. That's sketchy there for me. What are they getting for him?
Kyler and Hollywood played in. Hollywood went to Arizona or Oklahoma?
Yes, because Baker and him played together as well.
And him and Kyler played together?
Ravens have traded wide receiver. Oh, this makes sense. Ravens have traded wide receiver Hollywood Brown and number 100 to the Cardinals for 23. So they're just going to probably draft another wide receiver.
Really? Arizona gave up 23 for that? What's 100? 4th round?
The beginning of the 4th round. Like top 5? Top 10.
Arizona hates this first round that much. That seems like an L for Arizona's part.
Wow.
They're going to take Treylon Burks.
That'd be. Well, I mean, it's only so there's only so many players that you can hold out hope for.
They're going to use Burks, Dobbins, and Lamar as a try option wide back situation, basically.
So now the Cardinals are operating with DeAndre Hopkins, Marquise Brown, Zach Ertz, and AJ Green again, right? They lose what's his name? The dude that the Jaguars signed for huge money, that everyone hated.
Christian Kirk.
Right.
He was good
but
last year too.
But they drafted a wide receiver last year. They drafted the kid out of fudge me, dude.
Who? The Cardinals drafted a wide receiver last year?
Yes. I'll pull up their team right now. Shut up, for the love of Christ. This thing is so loud.
This tweet says
Rondale Moore. They drafted Rondale Moore last year.
Not in the first round though, did they?
I don't know that. No, but I mean, like, still, he was the 2nd round pick. He was 49.
This says Humphrey and Peters is the corners. Marcus Williams is the free safety. Hamilton is a strong safety. And the first comment is Chuck Clark as middle linebacker. Studley.
See, that's why I was confused about it. I was just thinking that it was more defensive tackle based, or defensive line based for them.
Kenyon Green. I mean, it's just tough, man. It's just tough being in the first round and being like not good. Commanders are taking Jahan Dotson. Excuse me? There's not going to be there's going to be one quarterback tonight, and it's going to be Pittsburgh, and they're going to have their pick, of course, because who else needs a quarterback? Who is behind Pittsburgh? Am I missing somebody? Am I?
I believe the Saints still have a pick.
The Chargers aren't picking quarterback. The Chiefs at two picks aren't taking quarterback.
At 19 is
Minnesota's 32 now. They don't need a quarterback.
Yeah, I'm saying 19 as of right now. Minnesota, I think Minnesota could do because Kirk has 1 year.
Yeah, maybe to pick like Corral or somebody if they want to sit him behind Kirk for a year or Pickett.
Dude, oh my God!
I hope that the Steelers take.
I hope they take Corral. I don't know why anyone would want Corral, but like,
I hope they take like Ritter.
I wouldn't. I mean, I'm a fan of Ritter. That's my problem.
I'm fading the non-power 5 though. I'm a
fair.
power 5 enthusiast.
I'm thinking Willis has got to be the first one to go. I feel like he's got the most upside of any of these quarterbacks.
I forgot about this tweet that Lamar said, "Excuse my French real quick, sir, but hell no." Him quote tweeting, I wonder if the Chiefs called the Ravens about Marquise Brown. They were boys. And they haven't extended him. This is like a classic Green Bay situation. Piss off Rodgers and draft Jordan Love. Worked out for me.
Which is going to be better for the quarterbacks if they do contract.
It's crazy. Worst quarterback class since I've been alive.
Since Geno Smith.
Since '99? When was? Oh yeah, I guess Geno Smith's year was horrid.
And I forget because Geno Smith wasn't even the first quarterback taken in that.
Usually, first round quarterbacks like not very good. Anyways,
it's like a given thing though. It's like
it's like all right.
One team's got to have that need or something.
Right. Man, Dotson over Burks. They must have issues with Burks. Burks didn't test well though. Who else is left? David Bell. Pickens.
He's a second round guy.
Mechie.
Second round guy.
This first round is great. I love being live for the first round.
The first round is
Kenyon Green is a massive individual.
Always a trip. The Chargers up next. Wondering who they're thinking here. The Chargers. There's no way they take a wide receiver. They're just
not with who's left. And I see like this is why I like Mike Williams getting that deal done early because it's not like okay, you could have had a premium pick if there was a wide receiver you like say Olave was still there and you could get Olave, Allen, and Mike Williams. That's fine. But now you have Williams signed, and now you just go best player available. That's like tomorrow. What if there's a quality edge left? What if Karlaftis is there? What do we do?
All right. No, I agree 1,000%. So now I wonder if the Commanders do that out of fear of Curtis Samuel holding out. Curtis Samuel, I'm an idiot.
McLaurin. But I don't get that though. Like Wentz, Dotson, McLaurin, and Curtis Samuel, and I mean, like I guess you have Gibson and J.D. McKissick. That ain't getting you over the top, and that division's trash too. Horrible.
Yeah, Dallas is looking like the best team in this draft right now.
And Dallas isn't even that good.
Yeah, you're not wrong. What am I looking at? Oh, so this is best available. Tyler Lindenbaum, Trent McDuffie, Devin Lloyd, Kier Allen, Nakobe
I think
Dean,
Lindenbaum's a lock for Cincinnati.
Daxton Hill, Breece Hall. I can't see a running back going first round this year, but that Buffalo report.
I'm so curious to see what Baltimore does. Trading back up.
Johnson, Treylon Burks, George Karlaftis, Roger McCreary.
I wonder if the Ravens pick gets Barry a little bit antsy. Just a little bit.
I'm not seeing it.
Especially because you basically gave your intentions, though. Like, okay, we're getting rid of Brown, and we're getting 23 because we're hoping there's a quality wide receiver left.
Right.
Do you swoop in at 22 if you're Barry and you go for Burks? Nah. I don't think so.
Still not seeing any pick here.
Elbow cough? Are you okay, MZC? Do you need medicine? Hydrate?
Too late. But if I drink water now, I won't be able to sleep. I have to get up in the middle of the night.
This has been the craziest first round in a minute.
I would have hated to be in this first round.
Me too. Isn't it nice? Isn't it kind of nice that I have a first round?
It's a little nice.
Trade up for Wyatt? Could the Ravens want a interior D line? Nah, maybe.
I would think so. I mean,
just load up your defense. Care about the offense, especially if they're not committed to Lamar. If you don't pay Lamar, you have a lot of money to spend on the offensive side of the ball. I know. Yes, I agree, Ashton. But I'm thinking, does Barry want to swoop in front of the Ravens?
I'm just watching Ojabo fall. Ojabo and Burks are my two guys that, like, day two, if they're somehow still there, you make the JOK trade.
I don't like it. I'm getting off the Ojabo train, I think.
Why?
I can't do it, dude. I just can't. He's not gonna play.
I understand it, but take a flyer on one of these two dudes that still are free agents. Let the dude hit the, what's it called? AJ Brown to the Eagles? You're capping.
Fake? Did you just get trolled?
I'm looking at the chat. Nope. Blockbuster trade. Titans are planning to trade wide receiver AJ Brown to the Eagles. Adam Schefter. Wow.
What? Get him out of the AFC. That's fine.
I wonder if the Titans are getting picks or if they're getting Devontae Smith.
Titans are planning to trade it, dude. Titans fans are.
These wide receivers, dude. The wide receivers are all like.
But here's the thing. Blame the Jags, and I guess if you were the Jags, you could be like, okay, like this was strategic from us, but like you pay Christian Kirk $20 million. AJ Brown is going to be asking for $25 to $30 million a year.
It's looking like apparently the Titans are trading wide receiver AJ Brown to the Eagles in exchange for Philadelphia's 18th overall pick and another third pick. Wow.
That's it.
The Titans are about to blow it up. The Titans could very well pick a quarterback.
No way. You think?
Yeah, very much so. It's the same thing with the Vikings, where I think they're up on 1 or 2 years left on these quarterbacks deals that are not putting them over the top anymore. So, wow. So they've got to. I mean, come on. Unless the pick for the Titans is going to be the interesting thing. If they don't go wide receiver, I think they're blowing it up. I think they're taking a quarterback somewhere. It might not be 18, but it could be their second pick in the first round.
You might as well sell out. You might as well move Henry. Just move him. You have Tannehill and who? Julio Jones?
No, Julio's not even on that team anymore.
He's gone. Who is their wide receiver room?
They have no wide receivers as of right now.
Oh my God. Fine. One less team in the AFC to worry about if they blow it up. Fine. They were good lad. They've always been good. Vrabel always has them good. Get them out.
The More For You Cleveland page tweeted, "Bring him on over," and it's a gif of Terry McLaurin.
I'm in for that.
I would be in for that until you have to pay him as much, if not more than. Well, I wouldn't care. I mean, I don't know what the cap salary, or I don't know what the cap is.
Suddenly, I think the AFC South is wide open.
AFC South is Titans, Jags, Colts, and
Texans.
I would put my money on the Colts.
Me too. But Jags, relevant?
If Trevor Lawrence doesn't have a sophomore year like sophomore year is, I mean, oh boy, dude, that's not good for my boy Vrabel.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Vrabel always has them competitive, but literally your offense is like, I get it. Derrick Henry's unstoppable, but can he play a whole year? Now it's like
if the Titans get like good Matt Ryan and they can get him a wide receiver one, like that would be.
You mean Tannehill?
No, I'm talking about the Colts.
Oh, I thought you said the Titans.
Because
Colts are fine.
He still has he's still saying he has them taking the division, the Titans. But I'm saying the Colts are a more competent team at this point.
I don't know though. Yeah, Reich is good, but it's
the dude just needs like for his sake, for his sanity, he needs a franchise quarterback at some point. Like, but you also need to like whoever you're going to play at quarterback this year needs weapons, and his best weapon as of right now is his running backs, and then Paris Campbell, who is a non-factor because he's majorly hurt every year.
This is a typical. We got the Jamar Chase effect. Now we're going into the Baker Mayfield effect. I think 2 separate ways, because now it's like you got no excuses if you're Hurts. Which, like, is that really fair? We could argue fairness, I guess. But you're gonna have Smith. They want to move Rager. Now you have AJ Brown. Their defense, I don't really know a whole lot about, but it's like
Dan Orlowski tweet right now, and it says rookie quarterback deal versus quarterback who has the highest cap hit this year, Tannehill. What is he implying with rookie quarterback deal? Is he talking about them taking a quarterback? Because I just said that, but I'm also kind of confused because Dan Orlowski is a Baker Mayfield advocate. And I'm not sure if that's a tweet about them potentially trading for Baker or if it's just them drafting a quarterback. Interesting.
AJ Brown brings 1 year, $3.9 million.
Pick is in. They take Treylon Burks. So they replace AJ Brown with AJ Brown 2.0.
Here's the thing.
AJ Brown
2.0. AJ Brown has 1 year, $3.9 million left on his contract. Then he's extension worthy. I'm in for this trade. I'm in for that trade if you're the Titans.
Interesting.
You're putting a lot of weight on Burks' shoulders, though.
Yeah.
But if they use him like a wide back, let's just say they use him like Deebo Samuel, that makes more sense and it actually diversifies your looks with Henry. Because if he's coming across the formation, you're handing the ball off to him, your play action into Henry, not bad. Titans GM ain't messing around. Titans GM doesn't want to pay AJ Brown, especially AJ Brown who's been hurt.
Yeah,
it's fine.
No, 1,000%.
Are they really? You think that's a good comp though? Is Treylon Burks like similar in stature
to Deebo or to
AJ Brown? They're both.
Yeah.
Treylon Burks is listed at 6'3" on Google. I don't think that's right. I think he was like 6'1", 6'2". No, maybe that was London. AJ Brown is 6'1", 225. Burks is 6'2", 225. So checks out.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Browns are staying put 100% locked.
Still a very deep wide receiver draft. I think we'll see a lot of rookie wide receivers have big impact, even the later round picks. The thing about that is, though, that's what everyone thinks. And I try to think back on last year. I think Devontae Smith had technically a record-setting for the Eagles, a franchise record as a rookie wide receiver. Jamar Chase was great, as we know. And then Waddle. Did Waddle eclipse 1,000 yards?
Very good season, though.
And then, but who were the other wide receivers taken after that?
He had 104 receptions for 1,015 yards. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. Like this, not every wide receiver class is going to be last year's class. Like this year's class very easily could be, but it's like, are you getting a Jamar Chase? Are you? And more importantly, are you getting a Jamar Chase with Joe Burrow?
Mike is saying 4 years, $100 million for AJ Brown.
That's ridiculous.
Is that an actual thing?
That's ridiculous. If so,
yep, $57 million guaranteed.
So now let's take this. Let's step back from this. If you're the Eagles, you're betting so heavily on Jalen Hurts being good to great. What if he sucks? What if Hurts sucks this year? with Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert, and you have Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, Kenneth Gainwell. You have a decent little running back room. And I like Jalen Hurts. I really do. I actually think that he's going to be okay. But does he thrill you as a pocket passer with those weapons? Not really.
So what is this going to be his third full year? Jalen Hurts. Second full year. Third year in the league.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
And he was pretty good, I want to say.
He's off-brand Lamar.
Now that's an interesting comparison.
He might be a better passer than Lamar. He's probably not as good as a runner as Lamar. He was hurt a little bit last year too. He had an ankle injury, lower body injury. I mean, here's the thing.
I'm looking at these Jalen Hurts stats, and they are not comparable to a good quarterback season.
No, his completion percentage was not very good. He was a good dual threat option.
He run a lot. You got to look at this. I thought he kept them in a lot of games though.
He did. I'm just saying though,
15 games.
You need average. You don't even need average quarterback playing that division. You're playing Wentz twice. You're playing Daniel Jones twice, and you're playing Dak Prescott twice. Yep. You should be able to win 4 of those games. Easy.
Very interesting.
And if you want to go balls to the wall next year, Ashton, you make a big trade for Stroud or somebody. If you really don't bet on them, and then you really just sold everything. You send 3 or 4 first-round picks to somebody to get Stroud or whoever the hell.
Boy, oh boy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Dolphins are the same way. Ashton, perfect point. Like, okay, you have Waddle, and you have Tyreek Hill now, and you have Gesicki. You better hope Tua is good, because if Tua is not, are you thrilled with Tua as your quarterback in the AFC? No. Washington, I feel like has less options. Like McLaurin, that's really it.
Washington, like I said, Washington's just falling into that
Washington Dotson
quarterback trap of like
too many bridge guys. You can only do the bridge only works twice. If you're on your third bridge after a Fitzpatrick injury, after Heineke not very good, you're on Wentz. It's like, all right, now you're in trouble.
The thing about that is, like, I like Ron Rivera. I would want Rivera as my coach. So what's the solution there? They try to compete in this division that's, somewhat weak, or, do they tank and they try to get Stroud? And then they have Ohio State galore over there with wide receivers and quarterback. I mean, I know that we've been in that position before, and it's like always so hard to just be like, oh my Lord.
AJ Brown, 4th highest paid wide receiver behind Hill at 1, Adams at 2, and Hopkins at 3. It's a big sell. I mean, let's talk about these first round trades. I think Washington won the first one, but then I think they messed it up picking Dotson, so I don't really care. And the second trade, I think, was extremely, extremely fair. Short term, you're going to think Detroit won it, but we're waiting on Minnesota's picks. And now I got to give the Titans the lean on this one.
I'm just trying to keep up with everything that's going on right now. Daryl Ryder tweeting, Baker Mayfield is a better option at quarterback than anyone in this class. 15 picks in, 0 quarterbacks selected, and there have been teams that need them. Has to help Andrew Berry. Andrew Berry's playing chess, people.
Well, I mean, if you look at 13 or wherever we're slated to pick, people are moving up ahead of us anyway, so good year not to have a first rounder, I guess, because you got people moving back, you got people moving up. Who are we on?
19. We are on the Saints' second pick.
I'm just waiting for Pittsburgh, really. I don't know if we got the guts to go to Cincinnati. Cincinnati is what, 30? 31?
I believe they're the second last pick.
Baker trade value is what right now? Third or a fourth?
Still not great. Still probably going to have to buy half of his contract out.
We'll take a 5th if you take his contract. Or a 6th. I don't need him on contract. especially with people unsigned. Got Clowney unsigned. Like I know you just kick the can, but it's whatever. You tell us, Ashton. What do you think? Third? I'll take a third if we're paying half, and then we bundle the third to move up into the first.
I'm just sitting here waiting for this Pittsburgh pick, and it'll be interesting. Like I know that Mike Tomlin is a competent coach, and I'm willing to bet that Saints are taking offensive tackle Trevor Penning at 19.
I like that.
I'm very much willing to bet that Mike Tomlin goes out and drafts Malik Willis here. I guarantee he's. I think he's
Kevin Colbert.
The trigger on this.
Kevin Colbert's last parting gift is to give him another quarterback. So then he's done. He's not doing any. I think the new guy's starting like tomorrow, which is like weird. I don't know if they do that with GMs, but this is what I'm saying though, Mike. Like Carolina passing on a quarterback, Atlanta passing on a quarterback. Like you get a cheap guy who could sit a year. Baker's going to be, even if it's half, Baker's going to be $9 million. Rookie salaries are $660K.
And here it is. Pittsburgh is on the clock.
Love it.
The moment Browns fans have probably been waiting for here.
Love it.
I would honestly, I think it would be like I like Mike Tomlin as a coach.
Me too.
So I hope that he does get what he wants here. I don't know what it's got to be the quarterback in my mind, but boy, oh boy, who knows? I'd be upset if it's Kenny Pickett for them. I'll be truthfully honest. I think Malik Willis makes the most sense for them, and
so the trade per estimates is AJ Brown gets 5 years, $104 million, and Burks is slated for 4 years, $14 million. So I like it. I like it.
Money, money, money. Money, money, money.
Yeah, you really do hate to see Baltimore getting their best player available and Pittsburgh getting every single quarterback choice available. You really don't love it. Regardless of what happens, regardless if Hamilton's a stud or if Willis or whoever is a stud, you just really don't love to see it because I feel like Cincinnati's going to be the same way. Linderbaum is going to be sitting there.
Yeah, that's the pick I've been looking at, Jeff. I didn't want to say anything, but I was looking at Linderbaum this entire time, and I'm thinking, man, wouldn't it be quite the thing if he made it all the way to the – because, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Aaron Donald blitz their center, and that's how that last play ended for them?
Oh, yeah. Center for sure, especially if he's a generational center talent, whatever, his arms are short. He might be a little underweight. It's going to be fine. Who cares? It's a center. And you got to put into account that with all these wide receivers being traded and being selected, the Browns got Amari Cooper for a 5th round pick. Believable or unbelievable?
Just how much are we paying that kid?
I don't know about this year. APY 20 mil. AJ Brown's making 25. AJ Brown can't stay on the field.
Deebo Samuel's about to get the same thing as soon as he gets traded.
What if we traded for him?
Do we have? I mean, if the first round ends and he's not traded, I'd be very interested to see how that situation goes on. I mean, they might just be like,
I can't believe the Jets said no to a trade for him. They don't want to pay him.
Pick is in.
Kenny Pickett. Wow. Faded Willis. Works for me. I don't want to see another Lamar Jackson, truthfully, just for my blood pressure. I can't watch another guy run around on our defense. Can't do it. Pickett could do it, but that's fine. I'm fine with that. Hometown kid, went to Pitt. Whatever. Do your thing.
I'm actually upset for I'm upset for Mike Tomlin's sake. I think that's the wrong first quarterback to come off the board in our division, at least. I don't know that's. All right, well, let's see now. Let's see if the quarterback domino starts falling. Let's look at who we have remaining here. Let's go down the line real quick. So, looking at it, Pittsburgh has their quarterback now. New England has their quarterback. Green Bay has their quarterback. Baltimore has their quarterback. Dallas has their quarterback. Buffalo has their quarterback. Tennessee could potentially draft a kid and sit him for a year.
No way.
Pickett.
I'm like, no comment. I'm literally not going to make a comment because when you comment on AFC North teams, when you think that they might have messed up or you think they might have done something good, you're usually wrong. So I'm not going to comment. They have great player development. I'm only going to say good things about the Pittsburgh Steelers because they've handed us our ass the last 2 decades. And even last year, we had one little hiccup year where there was no fans. Mickey Mouse playoff win, which was cool. It was nice. It was great for the city. Start the Clean Pulse playoff win. Perfect. But Pickett could be a stud. I'm not faulting the hands. Matt Stafford has small hands. I'm not falling into these traps. He'd probably be all right. You get to sit behind Mitch for a year. Sounds like a professional.
I'm saying there's one more quarterback taken, and that's it for this first round.
You think one more?
I think someone's gonna trade with Kansas City. Probably. Let me look at second round picks and what teams are back there that could trade. Giants, maybe. Houston, maybe. Seattle, 8 and 9. That would be so like, what's his name? Pete Carroll to get a quarterback, like Willis. Honestly, I'm as far as the quarterback thing goes. Who knows with these kids? I hope. I mean, I don't want anything good to happen for Pittsburgh, but I'll say for any kid's, career, I hope that they sit him for his sake. And you don't go out and get Mitch Trubisky to, start a rookie quarterback. And you still have Rudolph, even if I think Rudolph's an awful quarterback, but it is what it is. So
Rudolph and yeah, dude, they got so many quarterbacks.
So
that's crazy. I'm really shocked they didn't go Malik Willis. I really do agree with you. Like, I get he's raw. The temptation with Willis is that fan bases are going to be like, you play them. Like, fan bases don't get the sitting. That's the issue. Like, they don't get that sitting 1 year could be extremely beneficial and valuable.
Well, you look at last year and you're like, all right, you can't really – it's really hard to argue you sit Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson. It's just – it is. I mean,
this year's a lot easier to, like, okay, like, keep the fans off us. Like, we have Mitch. Like,
you've seen Mitch. You might not like Mitch. You also – like, it's also like he has potential. You don't know, but he could be the next Tannehill for all you know. But now you sit here and you're like, here's the thing that you always, talk about, Jeff. Kenny Pickett is 24 years old. Like, that's a heck of a thing for them to do. Yeah, he's an old quarterback. So,
but that's it's fourth. Yeah, I don't know, man. See, like, people are going to be on Twitter like, baby hands to the Steelers, not writing him off because he's probably not going to play this year. But that's even a better point. It's going to be 25 when he plays. Don't love that. But now, maybe the last question of the night.
Got it.
Let's just say no trade suitors crop up. Now, do you cut Baker?
I mean,
you're like, all right, Pittsburgh might have wanted him.
But, like, why? Why would you just cut him? You still have to take the cap hit. Like, at this point, like, you might just, like, at the end of the night and between the end of the night and starting tomorrow, like, you gotta think they'll be doing their damnedest to get like a fourth or a fifth. Or
I
a sixth
agree,
or
but it's
anything.
like, were you a little bit nervous that the Steelers were going to pick him up?
Not really. Like, listen, like
I'm just saying from the general management position. Like, does this look bad if he goes to Steelers and plays good against us?
Yeah, I mean, of course it does, but like at the same time, like I think a lot of that you could attribute to just coaching and being a completely different system. Like that's my biggest thing is like I'm very interested to see how this year goes because is Deshaun Watson going to put up numbers like he did in
I just think Deshaun Watson is part of the factor too. Like, what if every other team in the league somehow in a coordinated effort is like, yeah, we're not trading for Baker because they're upset about the contract. I always thought that this was plausible too. Wait for a midseason injury for somebody and try to move him then.
Yeah,
but you still have to pay him.
Yeah, that's always a thing. But elbow call. Jeff, what else are you thinking here? Patriots are trading back. Trading back with who?
I think you're going to see a lot of teams trade back now. I don't know, dude. I would be curious to see if the Kansas City packages 2 first-rounders together to try to get somebody or a first-rounder and somebody and something else. Who else is like liable to be moved?
Let's see. All right, before we go off the air, Jeff, how about this? How about we try to find some players that haven't been drafted yet that we might want to see in a Browns uniform next year? Karlaftis for you. I'm going to stay with Ojabu as one of mine. What else? I could see linebacker from Georgia. What is his name? Nakobe Dean. Could see the other D tackle, Devontae Wyatt. Who else? You got anyone, Jeff?
Devontae Wyatt, Pickens.
George Pickens. Okay.
Karlaftis. I don't know, man. Kind of off the bandwagon to some of these later wide receivers that people like. Sky Moore. Don't know. I do like Alec Pierce, but I thought he might be a 3rd-round pick if we wanted to go D-end or IDL 2nd round. So I'm going to hold off on him.
In terms of wide receivers, I'll be truthfully honest with you. I'm honestly completely fine waiting till the 3rd to 4th round, probably the 3rd round, because he probably won't slip any further than that. But I'm huge on getting the smaller school kids out of North Dakota State.
Christian Watson.
Christian Watson's probably my number one. David Bell, I mocked him to us in our last draft. We'll see. Probably not a huge thing. And then I keep an eye out on that kid, Javian Healy. What is his school? JCU, something like that. I would lean heavily against us drafting a wide receiver in the 2nd round if there are still quality defensive linemen.
I think your best position available, and to answer this question from Mike, if there's a good edge rusher there, we're going to take him. If Karlaftis is there, we're going to take him, I think. And then kind of to go with what Ashton is saying, you're hoping people get a bump playing with Deshaun Watson. You're hoping Donovan Peoples-Jones, we know he could be a 2. We know he really can't be a 1 from the evidence, from the tape. Jarvis goes out. He's not a 1. He could be a good 2, dominant 3. You have Cooper. You're asking for a huge bump from Njoku. You're asking Schwartz to take the top off when necessary. You still got Chubb and Kareem. So, no, I'm not too worried about Clowney. I'm best player available, which I think it's always been the case.
These guys that waited until after or till during the draft to sign, don't know when, Clowney, Hughes, they're all, I think, making a huge mistake. And Clowney's going to play on another 1-year deal probably. And that's fine by me because I'll take an Ojabu and let him rest a year and play Clowney. And for that matter, like even
now if you love Mechie, if Mechie's there at 44, if you love him, but like did we even meet with wide receivers? Burks?
Remember there was the one that we met with frick, what was his name?
That's why I'm confused. Like, I don't even know who we met with, which was something you did good last year because you saw we met with Schwartz and you were like, okay, we're gonna take him. But I feel like we don't really have someone like this year. Like maybe you only meet with first round players.
Who was it? It was someone that I completely don't have a name for. He was out of some like no name. Well, I remember that we brought in Dalvin Cook's little brother, who's a running back, but like there's no chance that's happening.
No, unless Kareem's on the move.
Yeah, I don't know who the wide receiver was.
Yeah,
what is that called?
On his knees too, his knees and his ankles and everything. He didn't. I mean, he was healthy for his standards last year, but like he wasn't no Iron Man. He didn't play every week. That's what I'm saying. Like, what about signing Jerry Hughes and drafting an edge, or signing Clowney and drafting an edge? But at that point, you might as well just draft an interior defensive lineman if Wyatt's there, even if like a Fedarian Mathis is there.
I can't figure out who the white. I know there was one, and I don't remember what his name was, but
the Chiefs moved up in the Patriots spot to take McDuffie. Wow, that's a little surprising. The Chiefs move up to grab a defender
after trading Tyreek Hill.
Should we stay on for Green? Should we stay on because Baltimore's coming up for 23? Then we'll officially get off. It's Green Bay and then Baltimore.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
And Green Bay's pick is probably in.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Very, huh. You would have thought that the Chiefs would go and try to replace Tyreek with a Mechie, maybe. Green Bay on the clock. Who do they have to
Pickens
go for? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not high on Pickens. Like
I've heard character concerns, so slide.
It's not even that for me though. Like I was just never huge on him. I don't
watch Georgia, man. I don't watch I don't watch SEC. I'm not even going to front like I do. I can tell you that Garrett Wilson and Olave, obviously. I mean, truthfully, Dotson and Bell's testing was a little bit startling. I thought they were better than what they tested, but
right.
Browns drafted Deshaun Watson in the first round. Sorry you missed it.
When you got
my homeboy, cut it out, Shannon.
That's Cap.
That's not. We'll see.
We'll see. It's Omega Cap.
We'll see if that's Cap. Still got Kelsey and Juju. We'll see.
Yeah, that's Omega Cap.
Patrick Mahomes is weapons.
Patrick Mahomes isn't the quarterback he is without Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, and I'll stand by that.
Well, he still got half of them though, and they still have another pick.
You're not wrong.
Probably get a wide receiver the second time around, but really to go for a cornerback, I guess their cornerback's a little fraudulent. They know that Matthew's not coming back too, so might as well youngen up over there. Brady threw to who his whole career? Randy Moss, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. I know you're trying to make it seem like Brady's, made people great, which it's true. It's a give and take. It's a little bit of give and take, I think, with that argument. Well, Justin is arguing situational. Like if the Browns would have drafted Mahomes, he would have been ass. I agree with that sentiment.
Yeah, no. Brady's, I mean, that's like the biggest detractor from any argument I have against Brady is because I lean towards Aaron Rodgers being the GOAT, and I know that that's like a fraudulent claim. But at the same time, like I can't deny outside of his Tampa Bay years, he's had Randy Moss as his one wide receiver that's,
he made it Julian Edelman really good.
Yeah, he made Julian Edelman really good, and then Edelman retired. Gronk, has followed him and done everything with him.
Packers are drafting linebacker Quay Walker. Who? Is it me? Is it me who doesn't know?
Quay Walker.
They not only draft not a wide receiver, but they draft a linebacker. Wes Welker and Julian Edelman are your case studies there for Tom Brady. Who the hell is Quay
Chris
Walker?
Hogan. The 1 year Chris Hogan had like almost 1,000 yards.
Didn't he play lacrosse?
Yep.
Quay Walker's from Georgia. Okay.
He gets picked before the other Georgia linebacker. What?
He gets
said
picked before.
Georgia?
Yeah, he gets picked before Dean. This article from yesterday says Georgia Quay Walker will not get past New England. Well, he
Oh.
technically did. Just one pick. N'Kobe Dean, dude, I'm telling you, I think maybe I'm thinking of a different person. N'Kobe Dean's 21 now.
I'm gonna go out on gonna go out on a limb here,
Go out on a limb, brother.
just because we're on the Patrick Mahomes
Quay
conversation.
who?
I'm saying that team ends up being third in this division.
The Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm saying they're gonna be third in the division.
If they end up anywhere else, I win the bet, though. Even if they end up fourth, I win the bet.
No, if they end up third and below, I win. If they end up higher,
Who do you got winning that division on April 28th?
dude, the Broncos have been a quarterback away for, I think, a bit now, and since
I got the Chargers winning that division.
I think it might just be a little bit too early. Oh, did you see the report about Darren Waller being on the trading block?
Yeah, and then somebody came out and said no way in hell.
Oh, okay, good.
I don't know.
Realistically, I think the Raiders are on the upswing, and I think the Broncos are going to go from being fourth to first. I think they're going to pull an Arizona, where Arizona goes from the bottom of their division a year ago, or technically 2 years ago, to being upwards to the top.
The Bills have traded up in Baltimore's spot.
Ooh, they're taking the running back, Breece Hall.
So the Ravens traded to 23 to trade it to somebody else in the AFC.
Well, they only trade down like 2 spots, don't they?
I think the Chargers had if you call all the off seasons competent, I think the Chargers, outside of the Chiefs, I think the Chiefs had the worst off season, clearly.
Yep.
And let's just say the other three were even. I think the Chargers are going to have the best quarterback play.
I'm on the stepping stone that, listen, as much as like,
and the most continuity. Russ is going to have to like figure it out over there.
Yeah, but like, is that really going to be a thing for Russell Wilson? Like, come on, Russell Wilson's an intelligent man. I'm on the end that Russell Wilson will probably have one of his best years at quarterback.
You got to think that the Chargers got Mac. They kept J.C. Jackson, or no, they got J.C. Jackson.
They got J.C. Jackson.
But like, who did the Broncos get? Gregory and just crazy off seasons over there. Can't even tell you who did.
Well, they went and they did what the Browns did. They went and got their guy at quarterback, which, you know, their quarterback last year, Teddy Bridgewater, is a bridge guy. So you go from bridge quarterback to, you know, Pro Bowler / All Pro quarterback, and what's it called? The Bills take Khalil Alam from Florida, cornerback.
Wow.
So they don't want to lose to Patrick Mahomes in the last 10 seconds of the game again. Interesting.
That sounds like a good need. See, that makes me believe Baltimore still wide receiver because they're thinking that
they're probably still trying to work out a trade with Debo.
Dallas is
49ers.
I feel like Jerry Jones is always liable to go offense, though.
Did you see the press conference where he was like, Michael was my pick? He just completely goes, yeah, I superseded that.
He's such a liar. If it's a bad pick, they'll be like, yeah, I had nothing in it, nothing involved.
Oh, boy.
Dallas is always in the driver's seat to make a goofy selection, aren't they? Except for last year.
Oh my God. Lindenbaum, Devin Lloyd. So Devin Lloyd is linebacker out of Utah, is ranked ahead
Lloyd's
of Nakobe Dean.
Lloyd's fallen. Lloyd is the old one. Lloyd is like 24. I'm almost certain. I would have him fallen.
Interesting.
23. Turns 24 in September. Yeah, no thanks. For a linebacker, no way. JOK is like 12. He's not that old. I don't even know.
Wish I could have played with.
He's 22. Doesn't turn 23 till November. And this guy's turning 24 in September. Lloyd is going to be 24 before JOK turns 23. Can't be doing that. You can't be drafting like that. All right. If the Ravens don't pick, we're for real getting off. Either way.
Not seeing any. I gotta believe that the Ravens are trying to find their way. They're trying to just build draft capital to send to the 49ers for Debo. Trying to get another dude that can play running back there.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's like the Bills got Von Miller, though. Kind of filled that need.
Yeah. They
But
up for Von Miller. What time does the draft start tomorrow? Is it 7?
that's a good question. I wish it started earlier.
Oh no, did I make?
I'm gonna be out of town tomorrow too. That's unlucky.
I think I had plans for tomorrow. We'll try to do the uploads like we did last time, where with like free agents, where we did like car videos. Reaction.
I could be on my.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm gonna record it though. I don't know how I'm gonna get on StreamYard.
Do we need it on StreamYard?
But I don't know how else we would do it. Zoom on our phone, maybe.
Well, no, just you're talking about like if we did like a live reaction or something, or you're talking about like if we went live.
Yeah, I could bring my laptop. We could do Zoom.
Okay. I mean, I was just thinking that we do like a recording, like a reaction.
Yeah. We don't have to go live. Just upload it quick.
Yeah. So.
And then we do in-depth. We'll do in-depth next week.
Yeah. This Dallas. Why is Dallas taking forever?
Could do a standalone
First
video.
time that they're thinking, hey, we can't draft a wide receiver or a dude that's highly coveted like Micah.
I really do think though, like if Pickens and Karlaftis are off the board, it's gonna be a little underwhelming. Like if Wyatt's off the board, we could end up getting like somebody. We could end up, but I mean, even Ojabo, I think would be a little underwhelming just because he's not gonna play.
Yeah.
Dallas
is losing it right now. Dallas is taking their fucking sweet old time. What do they need? Do they need to protect what's his name more? They had one of the best offensive lines like 2 years ago.
They were looking at offensive linemen. I think they might be trading back.
Are you thinking Lindenbaum?
Who's their center?
No idea. It's when you really think about it, it's like ridiculous to like think that we could know every team's like lineups and depth charts and rosters, That's like the one thing that I find like really like crazy is that people do actually like
we follow
know all that stuff.
Yeah, people follow it closely. Dallas slow.
Dallas is eating away at the clock here.
I understand that Jermaine Johnson is a name that is falling. Edge rusher, I think Florida State.
My God, Dallas. What are you thinking here? Poor Aaron Rodgers.
Dude, just imagine just like seeing that, like watching or seeing on your phone, like, oh yeah, we drafted a linebacker in the first round.
When was the last dude? That dude hasn't had Devontae Adams wasn't even like a first round pick, was he? He was like
No.
a steal at some point.
No.
They haven't drafted like a first round guy for him, like offensively, in forever.
Here's Jordan Love.
Devontae.
So we're 12 picks into tomorrow. Jeez. I know that the second round like ultimately goes faster because there's less like fanfare, I guess.
Yeah. But then you do have the who's drafted in the second round.
I love how they show McCarthy and Jerry Jones sitting in the middle.
The thing about the second and third rounds is when they start to do the corny stuff where they have
Dolphin?
like players or former players or fans announce picks. So like they take a little bit longer because Rodgers got to come out and make a whole spiel, and then the pick goes through.
Pickett over Malik Willis.
Yeah, that's gonna be the talk of the town tomorrow.
I don't even know if I could get over that.
Oh boy, it's way past my bedtime. Tired. Holy hell, Dallas! Would you fucking pick already?
I just don't think.
The minute we go off, the next quarterback's gonna get taken. Guarantee it. Malik's gonna get taken by like Tennessee. Could see it happening right now.
I just don't believe that it's a good look if you're this long into your draft tick and you don't have a pick in. You're 7 minutes in and you don't know. Like I get it, but it's still the first round.
Oh my Christ! Starting to lose it. Starting to go stir crazy.
Kaiir Elam.
Who?
I like that pick for Buffalo.
For Buffalo. Yeah.
Just a little pick swap. Ravens go 2 back because apparently you're betting if you're the Ravens that Dallas isn't going to pick a wide receiver, I guess. Is there a tight end in the mix? Is there a first round tight end this year in the mix or no?
No chance. I've got to believe that.
What about Jelani?
Finally, Cowboys drafting offensive tackle Tyler Smith at 24.
Who? I don't even know who that is.
Nope, neither do I. All right. Either Baltimore does something spicy here or they trade for what's his name?
Debo?
Yep. That would be nutso.
The Saints starting line is 4 first rounders and their center is a second rounder. Fair?
You know what is like interesting about that is like as a fan base, like if the Browns did that, people would be hands up, like screaming that management needs to go to hell. But like realistically, if
I mean, we invested pretty heavily in the offensive line though.
Yeah.
And Wills is arguably like the weak link, and he was the first rounder.
Yeah.
Conklin was a trade. Watts Teller was a steal. Treader has been part of the franchise. Batonio has been part of the franchise. So it's like Wills is kind of your odd one out, really. This is kind of a big Wills year. Play mids to trash. Might be drafting a first round left tackle next year.
Maybe.
We don't have a first rounder next year. Might be drafting a second round left tackle next year.
What's the rumor, Ravens? What you doing?
We don't have a first rounder till 2025. It's not good. It's fine. It's fine this year.
Jerry Hughes. Take a flyer on him.
Tulsa. Oh, yeah, I know this cat from Tulsa. I just didn't know his name was Tyler Smith.
Oh, man. The Ravens are on the clock.
You think Baltimore knows what they're doing here? Like, come on.
I gotta believe that they were thinking trade for Debo. They're just trying to figure out.
Him, though? They want to pay him and Lamar.
I gotta think that you can't. I gotta think that they couldn't just trade a number 1 wide receiver and then not get him another weapon in return. You know,
Yeah.
that's just my. They got their guy. They got their best player available. Now they got to be like, now we need to go out and get Lamar someone. This stream that I'm watching 2 dudes just handlebar. I think the one dude's drinking straight Jack, and the other dude's drinking straight Fireball.
Oh God! On a Thursday.
On a Thursday, these dudes got to work tomorrow. Tomorrow's even longer than tonight, I think.
I mean, it's Vegas. Like, might as well.
I don't even know if they're in Vegas though. They're just on.
They're just hanging out.
They're on 2 green screens, I think, and they're having a hell of a time.
People are pissed about Tyler Smith. I guess they wanted Lindenbaum.
Not seeing anything on the clock.
Who's the Ravens center?
No idea. That would be another pick where you're just like, wow, people in Baltimore. That's why Jim Harbaugh's had a job there forever, because him and Mike Tomlin have competent front offices and owners.
Can the Ravens wake up? What is taking them so long? Figure it out.
That was Dallas's fault.
Is this the longest stream we've ever done? It's got to be.
It's got to be up there. I can't even remember the last time we did something this long. I think like maybe for one of the in the mid-season of like Cavs Hype Mania.
Yeah, maybe.
But it's like it's so hard when you're like literally you're just a person sitting here.
You're just waiting on these people to pick.
And like your team's not in the conversation for this, even for this stream, really.
Yeah, we're just here scouting the division.
Yeah.
And waiting for Baltimore's front office to take forever.
Balty. Still nothing. If Devo's not traded tonight, that'll be chaotic for the 49ers. Still nothing. Baltimore Ravens, still nothing.
Can we get an update? Can we get a trade? Another trade? They want to trade again? How many trades?
Trade again.
Well, lackluster to say the least.
Still nothing. A whole lot of nothing. Boy, oh boy.
Ravens don't know what to do.
Is that tweet you just sent me of the dude at the Dallas?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That sounds excruciating.
When people even said that, like, there was issues. There's, like, he has technical issues, too. Like, he's not even ready to start.
Oh, that sounds disgusting, though.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
They had to break both his legs and put it in cages.
The earliest somebody had him was Todd McShay at 33 in the second round, and Dallas took him at 20.
Holy balls! Baltimore pick someone already.
They're horrid. They're about to run out of time. What happens if you run out of time? You forfeit
You
your pick.
No.
Just like, oh, that's a good way to lose your first rounder. You're getting fired if you're the GM. You're getting. I don't even know what would happen.
Holy balls!
This is terrible. They really are confused.
I really think that they just couldn't. Oh no, Lindenbaum.
Damn. See, I when did I ask who their center was?
Likes they got in probably the minds of everyone. They probably just had an A+ draft. I'm
Easy.
still not sure about the Hamilton pick, but the Lindenbaum pick, Jeff was
At
banging
least
on
the
the door.
at least the
very early
Bengals
on.
don't get them.
True, very true. All right, you ready to call it?
Yeah, we're good. Almost 11.
All right,
Appreciate
we'll be
chat.
back. We'll be back tomorrow. Well, we won't be back tomorrow together. Probably we'll probably just have to do one shoots, but we will.
We'll be back with a video.
Jeff will be on Twitter tweeting about our picks. I'll try to supplement with videos and such. Oh boy, I'm sorry. But yeah, with that being said, thank you all for tuning in, subbing, liking, commenting. We appreciate it all, and we'll catch you all later. Deuces.